Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So my name is Robin Phillips, as you've heard, and I'm very proud to be the FD of Siemens industry sector here in the UK. I'm also honoured to be here today to tell you a little bit about what we do as a company to help CO2 and improve the efficiency, energy efficiency within our own company, our customers' companies, and our suppliers' companies. So really, I don't want to run through the agenda, but I'll give you a quick overview about Siemens, then a bit about our approach, both internal and external, which is primarily the same. A quick look at our supply chain, and then look at our finance, with a conclusion at the end. So a bit about the company. Globally, we're split up into three sectors: industry, energy, and healthcare, and I represent, and Steve is here, also from the industry sector here in the UK. We're responsible for the UK and Ireland. We are actually going through a global reorganisation at the moment, and a fourth sector is being put together, a combination of industry and energy, which is going to be called infrastructure and cities. That's a new fourth sector which has been put together. And really these sectors are aimed at aligning with the global megatrends and providing solutions to the challenges that those megatrends present us. So a big company. Total orders in last year, financial year 2010, 81 billion euros and 75 billion turnover, 405,000 people worldwide, so a significant organisation, globally present, so we're increasing our footprint globally. It was very much historically, because it's Siemens, it's a German company, was very much European-centric. Europe-centric, we're now spreading the global footprint. And 5.1% of our revenue last year was invested in R&D. So really, and the vast majority of that R&D is now going towards green technology, green solutions. Also been in the UK for quite a while. 1843, a guy called Wilhelm Siemens, the youngest of a few brothers, came over with a few ideas and started to create life-enhancing technology solutions for the UK at that time. And even green, there's some green projects going on in 1879. You can see them halfway down the page there, first electric train in the world at Bushmills, whiskey distillery, and was powered by hydroelectricity from the nearby river. So he went on to be knighted. He is actually the first president of the IEE, the founder president of the IEE, or what's become the IEE in the UK. So a very big footprint in the UK. And had it not been for the First and Second World Wars, the headquarters of Siemens globally would be in the UK. I can tell you that now, because of the rate of growth of the company in those times. We had 10,000 people employed in the company in the year 1900. Assets got sequestrated, got given to the English Electric Company, which went on to become GEC. So there you go, that's a bit of a history. So as I say, green, sustainable technologies back in the 1800s, 1850s, 1900s. This was a situation then, and really nothing much has changed when we look at the situation now. So in terms of sustainability, it's very much part of our DNA. We've got on our central board, we have a director for sustainability, a lady called Barbara Cooks, and we've got a very, very well established, that was referred to earlier, very well established sustainability program, and you can see the link there, so please feel free to go in and have a look at that, and have a look at the sustainability report that's contained therein, and please feel free. Within that sustainability program, we've got four main global targets. These are the first one, to reduce our customers' CO2 emissions by 300 million tonnes in this financial year 2011. That was last year 270 million tonnes audited. We want to grow our environmental portfolio to 40 billion revenue by 2014. Bearing in mind our revenue last year was 76 million, so that's over half of the revenue from last year. We're looking to have as green environmental revenue by 2014, and it was 28 billion in 2010. Further to that, we want to improve our own company's global CO2 efficiency by 20%, and improve specifically our water efficiency globally by 20% as well. So those are the four main tenets in terms of the objectives of that our sustainability program. Already that's bringing results. number one in the Dow Jones Sustainability Index, number one in the Carbon Disclosure Project Leadership Index, so quite a few firsts of which we're already proud and continue to be proud, and hopefully going into the future we'll get even stronger in that respect. In terms of the actual portfolio itself, three main pillars to that: energy efficiency, as you can see, environmental technology, and specifically renewables as well. So that's really looking at the global picture. In terms of the kind of things we're facing in the UK specifically, well, we've heard it already today. We've got a couple of wolves at our door. One is energy prices are significantly increasing. As far as the UK is concerned, we're about 16,000 employees. We're a big manufacturer, so these challenges face us as a manufacturer, as an employer, as a corporate entity here in the UK. So this is a big challenge for us as Siemens. We've got an increasing legislation in the marketplace as well, which is both these pressures are putting pressures on it. Both these elements are putting pressures on our margins, increasing the operating costs of our businesses. As I say, as a manufacturer, as an employer in the UK, we face all these issues. So in terms of what we're trying to do, both internally and externally, is advocating very much an integrated approach, combining operational efficiency, energy efficiency, and financial efficiency as well. And for all those Fs, please also read effectiveness as well. So it's not just efficiency, it's also effectiveness. So that's the model that we're advocating. And supporting that, really, it's very much a systematic approach to energy efficiency. And as I say, we use this methodology internally and externally. And we strongly believe and advocate that through a systematic approach that we can realize much more benefit than through an ad hoc approach. You can see a figure down there on the right-hand side in red. We believe that we can 4 times more effective if we have an integrated approach than the usual ad hoc approaches that tend to have been the situation in the past. And that's basically led through a closed-loop approach in terms of consulting through to actual measurement and then action. A specific example in terms of the UK, our business, Congleton. As I say, this is one of our manufacturing sites. We're manufacturing here variable speed drives for the global market. We're in excess of 1 million units per year are going out of this factory, which is deep in the heart of Cheshire, and is globally competitive with our other factories in places like Nanjing. So it's very, very pleasing that we have a very, very stable and solid manufacturing entity here that's competing with our Asian counterparts. So really, we've had a focus on energy efficiency within our plant there. I won't go into all the details, but between 2007 and 2010, we've reduced our consumption of gas for that site by 25% and electricity by 35%, which is key to the bottom line of that business, because effectively the Congleton factory is a contract manufacturer for our headquarters. So basically a headquarters working with Congleton designs the drives. We in Congleton then manufacture those drives, and it's on a cost-plus basis. So the better we get our costs in check, the better the whole picture is for the global business. So clearly a major bottom line benefit for that manufacturing business, which is part of our portfolio here in the UK. And what's also nice is we actually use our drives to produce our drives. So we're actually using, within the automation that we've got there, we're using our technology to actually produce our technology, which is also a nice thing to have. That also has become part of a global project. We call it Project Greenlight, where the Siemens board have defined 100 million euros globally to invest in specific energy efficient projects, particularly with relation to real estate. So, and that's, as I say, well, Congleton is one of those projects. We've got 3 million invested, £3 million of that 100 million euros invested in 4 sites in the UK. And we're taking that integrated approach with our technology in terms of then making the changes and measuring and tracking the energy efficiency and bottom line benefit. In terms of the next phase, which has just started fairly recently, which is not just looking at our customers, but then also looking into our supply chain. And we've got a global program started by Barbara Cooks, who's a lady for sustainability on our board, to look at the supply chain and getting our suppliers to think about energy efficiency with our help. Now, indirectly, we were already involved with quite a lot of our suppliers, particularly manufacturing suppliers who are industrial automation and drive technologies businesses. But this is a much more focused approach to get our our suppliers much more focused on energy efficiency, thereby ultimately reducing our prices, hopefully, as well. So it's a win-win for us. Locally in Newham, just switching a little bit here in terms of investment in the UK, we're just in the process of building a global sustainability centre in Newham. It will be open to coincide with the Olympic Games, and it's in the middle of the Green Enterprise District there, as referred to by Boris Johnson there. And this is going to be a showcase for what we as Siemens can do with regard to sustainability, sustainable buildings particularly, and sustainable technology. So if you go past Newham, you should see that in its building phase. I think one of the structures is already up in terms of it's called the Crystal. There you go. So with all this activity going on in terms of energy efficiency, clearly, I also struggle sometimes with the lethargy and the inertia that we're facing in terms of getting this story accepted and get it off the ground, really. Clearly, it always starts with a bit of an investment, and that's where people start to get a bit nervous. And when we look at routes for investment and sources of funds, really, well, in the past, and until the recent past, the regional development agencies were there, gone through a bit of a turmoil. The local enterprise partnerships are there now, but still, again, still in a bit of turmoil. And one thing they don't have actually is money, and so then they're not a very good place to go to try and get money from now. The new lets for such environmental energy efficiency projects. Salix in the public sector, that's gone very, very quiet. Green Deal and Green Investment Bank are great ideas, but they're not yet off the ground, and will start to come into effect in 2012. Private sector finance has been very, very limited, and private sector also refer to the banks there. I think things are changing there, but at the moment it's still very, very tough for people to get finance out of banks and private sector. Enhanced capital allowances are there. The initial feedback from those were in terms of filling out the forms, getting the detail done. It was complex, but then hopefully people like us are here to help on Carbon Trust. Coming on to that, the Carbon Trust is there. Went through a bit of a sticky time in terms of government funding recently, but we've stepped up to the mark there, in fact, now, and so we are helping fund the Carbon Trust to the tune of £550 million for specific green energy efficiency projects, and we've got people from the Carbon Trust here today, and also Siemens Financial Services, SFS, below there, who actually are supplying the funding to the Carbon Trust, and also supply direct as well funding for energy efficient projects. So the gentlemen are in the audience. I can see them from here, and so any questions, please speak to those guys there. In terms of our overall proposition, as I say, this is an internal proposition. We use this ourselves, and also we market it, and we've not really shouted about it a great deal, and we should probably shout about it a bit more. But really, in terms of saving, the opportunities are there, saving between 10 to 30% on energy efficiency for a particular facility. We've proven it ourselves in terms of our Congleton plant, and there are others, many others, where it's happening. You've got the added benefit in terms of energy efficiency that goes hand in hand with that, and that's the CO2 reductions. So that's an added win-win, really. Reducing your energy consumption clearly reduces your CO2 emissions. And with Siemens, with our financing options that we can offer, and this is not meant to be a plug for Siemens, by the way, because we use this stuff ourselves. I also lease stuff from Siemens. So, for example, for Congleton, I lease stuff from our internal lessor. You can do all this without capital investment. So as a finance guy, you get 10 to 30% saving without a capital outlay, and simultaneously an improved cash flow. It's absolutely a no-brainer, and this is where I really do struggle sometimes I just struggle with the fact that people aren't picking this up, because ultimately it makes complete business sense. We're improving the bottom line. We're making our business more sustainable, and it's effectively a no-brainer. So really, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as the company is concerned, really the main point really is an integrated green business approach helps keep your business out of the red, and I really strongly believe that as a finance director of a significant business here in the UK. So that's really what I had to say. Thank you.